The evening sun bled orange through the dusty windows of our farmhouse. I found Father in his study, bent over a ledger, his face carved with lines deeper than the cracks in our fields. My chest tightened. I'd rehearsed this question for days. "Father," I said, voice trembling, what's the value of my life?" He paused, fingers hovering over the page. Without looking up, he slid a small, jagged stone across the desk. "Take this," he said, voice gravelly. "Go to the market. If anyone asks the price, say nothing, hold up 2 fingers." The stone felt cold in my palm, its edges biting my skin. I clutched it like a secret as I trudged into town. The market buzzed, vendors hawked rotting fruit, beggars rattled tin cups, and stray dogs snarled over scraps. My boots stuck to the mud as I wandered, heart pounding. What if no one cared about a worthless rock? Then a bony hand gripped my shoulder. An old woman leaned in, her breath reeking of cloves. "How much for that stone, boy?" she croaked. I froze, then raised 2 fingers. She squinted. $2, done. My throat closed. $2? For a rock I'd kicked aside 1,000 times? I sprinted home, the coin burning in my pocket. Father stood in the doorway, silhouetted by firelight. "She offered $2, I gasped. He didn't smile. "Tomorrow," he said, "go to the museum." His eyes gleamed. "Same rules, 2 fingers. That night I stared at the stone. Moonlight caught a faint blue vein running through it, something I'd never noticed. Was it glowing? I shoved it under my pillow, but sleep never came. The museum loomed like a cathedral, its marble walls icy against my palms. Guards eyed my patched coat as I shuffled past statues of gods and warriors. A middle-aged man in a tailored suit materialized beside me. "That stone," he murmured, adjusting his gold cufflinks. "Is it for sale?" I raised 2 fingers. He chuckled, low and smooth. 200, cash. My knees buckled. The stone slipped. He caught it, inspecting it under a pocket lens. "Rare specimen," he muttered. "Volcanic glass fused with something else." He slid a wad of bills into my hand. "Tell your father I'll double it tomorrow." I ran, the man's words clawing at my back. He knew Father. The wind howled as I burst into our barn, where Father oiled his rusted tools. 200, I shouted. He didn't turn. "One last place," he said, "the precious stone store." His voice dropped. "Go tonight." Shadows stretched long as I crept into the city's jeweled heart. Neon signs hissed, gems, appraisals, fortunes. The store's doorbell tinkled, dust motes swam in the dim light. Behind the counter, an old man hunched over a ledger. He looked up and froze. The old man's spectacles slid down his nose. His hands shook as he reached for the stone. Where did you find this?" he whispered. I raised 2 fingers. He staggered back, clutching his chest. 200,000, he rasped. "Cash, now." The walls seemed to pulse, my vision blurred. 200,000? The stone glowed brighter, that blue vein throbbing like a heartbeat. The man lunged across the counter, eyes wild. "Who gave this to you?" he hissed. I stumbled, gripping the stone. "My father," I choked out, his face paled. "Your father? Then he knows what this is?" The door slammed open. Cold air rushed in. A figure stood silhouetted. "Father." The old man hissed, "You." Father's voice cut like steel. "You've had your answer." He gripped my arm, dragging me into the alley. "What's happening?" I yelled. He didn't answer. We sprinted past flickering streetlights, his breath ragged. Behind us, tires screeched. A black car lurched around the corner. "Keep running!" Father roared. The stone burned in my fist. Gunshots cracked. A shop window exploded. I screamed. Father shoved me into a storm drain. "Hide!" he barked. "Don't let them take it!" Sewage sloshed against my knees as I crawled, the stone's glow guiding me. Voices echoed above. "Find the boy!" Footsteps pounded. My mind raced. Who were they? Why did they want this rock? A rat skittered past, and I bit back a scream. The glow intensified, revealing symbols etched into the stone's surface, ancient, jagged marks. Not a stone. A key. Father's words from years ago whispered back, "Some secrets are buried so deep, they rewrite worlds." A beam of light pierced the darkness. I froze, boots splashed closer. There he is! I bolted, slipping through a rusted grate into the river. The icy water stole my breath. The stone pulsed, casting an eerie blue halo underwater. Figures dove in after me, their shadows twisting like monsters. I kicked deeper, lungs burning. The current dragged me toward a drain pipe, too narrow. Panic surged, but the stone flared, and the pipe melted, widening into a tunnel. I shot through, spat onto concrete. Moonlight poured through a shattered skylight. I was in a warehouse, crates stacked to the ceiling, And there, in the center, a machine humming with the same blue light. Wires snaked from the machine to a glass pod. Inside floated a man. His face mirrored Father's, but younger, unscarred, alive. My blood turned to ice. Footsteps echoed. Father staggered in, clutching his side. Blood seeped through his shirt. "Son," he gasped, "that stone, it's a battery. A prison." He pointed to the pod. "He's me. A verge have been hunting us across realities." The machine whined, powering up. The pod glowed. "Break it," Father said. "Free him." I raised the stone, its light blinding, but the door exploded. Men in black swarmed, guns aimed. "Drop it, kid," one snarled, "or he dies twice." The gun's barrel gleamed in the blue haze. Father slumped against the machine, his breath shallow. "Do it," he rasped. My fingers trembled. The stone hummed, vibrating with a force that threatened to shatter my bones. The man in the pod opened his eyes, Father's eyes, and mouthed, "Now." I hurled the stone at the machine. Time slowed. The air crackled. A shockwave blasted me backward. Glass rained down. When the light faded, the pod was empty. The machine smoked, dead. The men in black writhed, clutching their ears. Both fathers were gone. Silence. Then a hand gripped mine. I whirled. The younger father stood beside me, dripping wet, alive. "Run," he said. We fled into the night, the warehouse collapsing behind us. Dawn broke as we reached the farmhouse. The younger father stared at the horizon. "They'll keep coming," he said. "But you've seen the truth. Your value isn't in their hands." He placed the stone, now dull inert, in my palm. "It's in yours." By midday, he'd vanished. I never saw either father again. But the stone stays with me, a reminder. We choose where we stand, in the mud, the museum, or the storm. Years later, I'm in a market of my own. A child approaches, holding a rock. "What's it worth?" he asks. I smile, thinking of fathers and futures. "Show me 2 fingers," I say. His eyes widen as the crowd surges. Some secrets aren't meant to stay buried. Some stones aren't just stones, and some questions, they're worth every gunshot, every sprint through the dark. Because the value of a life isn't in the price others shout, it's in the silence where you decide. So I watch the boy run, the stone glowing faintly in his fist, and I whisper, "Choose well." The wind carries my words toward the city, where neon still hums and shadows stir. Somewhere a machine whirs back to life. Somewhere a door creaks open. But here in the light, the boy's laughter rises, pure, unafraid. The market fades, the stone's pulse slows. And I understand now, Father. I finally understand.